The day of your C&P exam is the most important day after you file your VA claim. The most important time period is before you hit the submit button, right? You have to prove it. The VA is not going to just take your word for it. So you need to make sure you have the medical evidence to support the disability that you're trying to get service connected and get paid for. Figure out how you're going to establish service connection. Are you doing a direct service connection claim or a secondary service connection claim if you've been out for longer than 12 months? Definitely the best way to go. Make sure you could prove it. You need a nexus. You need a nexus, you need a diagnosis, you need symptoms. Get your doctor. Nexus letters are kind of hard to get sometimes from VA doctors and private doctors. If your doctor won't write it, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't submit it because you're going to get denied. You need it. About strategy, you're fitting things together. You're working with the combined ratings table, aka VA math, and you want to make sure you're not filing claims that are moving you nowhere, right? You don't need to add 0 plus 0 equals 0. That's a total waste of 6 months to a year or longer. Like, file claims that matter and get you paid. That strategy, that's my boot camp. That's what I talk about. I preach it and I teach it. So why is the C&P exam the most important day in your VA claim? Once you hit the submit button on your claim and you upload all your medical evidence, most of it is out of your hand when that happens. You have your personal statements, that's great. You have your medical evidence, your nexus, your diagnosis, your symptoms, and all that kind of stuff. The only time you actually get to speak and show up and do something is at your C&P exam. Don't get your hopes up too high. You know, it may last 5 minutes, it may last 2 hours, but this is something you could actually prepare for. So that's why it's the most important single day after you file your VA claim. What does the C&P exam consist of? The whole purpose of the C&P exam is for you to be examined. You filed a claim, the VA got it, the VA rater looked at it and decided, you know what? The duty to assist is enough here. There's enough medical evidence on the bone. Let's check this thing out. The VA hires the C&P examiner to evaluate you. So basically, your job is to go be evaluated, and the examiner's job is to examine you. So he's not a treating physician. He'll probably even tell you that. He'll probably thank you for your service and tell you how much he loves to cradle veterans and, you know, is in last 5 generations or Civil War veterans, and he'll blow a bunch of smoke up your ass. But at the end of the day, he examines you, he doesn't treat you, and you're there to examine for the disability you filed a claim for. This isn't where you go pour your heart out. So that's what a C&P exam consists of. Does the C&P examiner work for the veteran? Trick question. Let me tell you why. So the C&P examiner works for the VA. That's who they work for. That's who pays their bills. So understand that going in. Yeah, it's veteran friendly and everything's free. And I mean, you can tell yourself stories all you want. You're not paying them. VA's paying the doctor. He's their guy. We don't have transparency into this communication. The VA rater may say, you know, like, hey, go in and see if Combat Craig shows up and give him a 3-minute exam. Here's $1,500 or whatever they charge. Or Combat Craig's claiming that he has major depressive disorder. Give him a 2-hour mental health evaluation and here's 12 grand. Doctors charge money, right? The VA's no exception. You don't know how long it's going to be and you don't know what the VA rater is actually, you know, going to request from the C&P examiner. So be prepared for everything. You filed a claim for depression. You're going to a mental health C&P exam. So all you need to do is talk about your depression and your social and occupational impairment. To prepare for your C&P exam, you should download the DBQ, Disability Benefits Questionnaire, for the disability you're filing a claim for and study it and know the answers to the test before you go in and take the test. Like, he's going to come at you. Who knows? They're not all crooked, but, you know, they have their ways. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they don't care. Whatever. Be prepared for everything. It's always better to be prepared because it's only the most important day after you file your VA claim. So go in there, nail it, and know that you nailed it. You were prepared. You knew basically what you were going to be talking about. You didn't go in there filing a major depressive disorder claim and you started talking about your bum foot and your tinnitus, and you didn't file a claim for that stuff. Or you're already service connected. You don't need to talk about disabilities you didn't file a claim for. What should you not say at a C&P exam? Well, don't lie and don't stretch the truth. If you're normally clean cut, shave once a day like I do, and your head, got a clean shirt on, cowboy hats dusted off. This is exactly how I would go to my C&P exam because this is the way I am on a daily basis. I wouldn't show up in a suit and I wouldn't show up looking like I'm homeless. If you're in a suit all the time, then wear your suit. If you're homeless and you look homeless, then show up like that, but don't pretend to be something you're not. Here's another thing you should not say at your C&P exam. You should not be answering questions that you weren't asked. You should say as little as possible as well. Combat Craig, do you have pain? Yes. Not? Yes. Funny story. Let me tell you, it started in Vietnam, it started in Desert Storm, and then it's in my foot. And like you're filing a claim for depression. You don't need to walk through and paint this story about your whole body. This is a depression claim. If you want to go file a claim for your back, different claim, different C&P examiner. This isn't even the right guy. A psychologist is a head shrinker. An orthopedic doctor, you know what I mean? Like the doctors don't even cross over. They stay in their lane. So you stay in your lane. Don't answer and offer information that you're not asked about. Just answer the questions. Don't lie or stretch the truth. Be honest. Just answer the questions. If you're going in for a mental health exam, talk about your mental health. Don't talk about your back pain. If you're going in for back pain, don't talk about migraines or mental health or anything. One claim at a time, right? Keep it simple. There's a lot coming at you. You have to, get a beat on this guy and figure out what he's really doing, what questions he's asking. You got to nail it. You got to ace your C&P exam. So don't make it confusing and don't add in any information that doesn't need to be there. Let me jump in here real quick and tell you about my boot camp. If you want to learn more about the VA claims process, check out my boot camp. You can talk to me live. There's a link on the website. And in the description, combatcraig.com. And also, if you need medical evidence, like a nexus or documenting your symptoms properly, go to our website, combatcraig.com, and it says medteam/nexus letters. Click on that link, fill out the form. Boom, you're done.